I'm gonna.
Hey guys, welcome people out there on YouTube. This is Peter Gantner with Corey and Jan. We're going to talk a little bit today about kulaBrands. What we're going to do is a discussion. So, hey guys, welcome. So, kulaBrands was a concept that I came up with on the first call that we did. I shared it with Jan, and then Jan had shared it with Corey. And I want to talk a little bit about that story of how we got involved and where we started to, and this was in February 28th of 2016. So I came up with the idea in November. So prior to that, at an event in Dallas, on my flight back, I came up with the concept. I shared it with Doug. Doug's not with us. He's actually in Wisconsin right now. I'm going to be doing some meetings out there. And I shared it with him. He loved it. I told Jan, I said, hey, we're going to reinvent the home-based business industry. We're going to come up with this new concept we're going to launch. Told him to be on the call on February 28th, him and about 8 or 9 other people. Everybody showed up. We explained the model, and I'm going to explain real quick. We did not have a name for the company at that point. We did not have a website at that point. We really didn't have anything, right? Because if you don't have a name, you can't have a website. But what I did is I just started to talk about a business model that would allow, first of all, people to have true lifelong residual income. Secondly, a business model that you would not have to recruit a single person in order to build income, okay? And what we call royalties, that's what this is based on. It's a reverse royalty program. And the actual model, the patent that we filed on is dynamic reverse royalty allocation system and methods. That's actually what the name of the patent is that we filed on, but we didn't have that name at the time. And so I started to explain to them how we were going to help entrepreneurs. We were going to help creative people bring their products to the marketplace. And we were going to help them with doing reward-based crowdfunding, which I had experience going through some campaigns myself, supporting over 100 campaigns, close to 200 campaigns at that time. And then we were going to use the internet, this social media, to do branding and marketing, because I thought in that process, wait a minute, we already do it. I don't know about you guys, but I had already shared some videos, right? Whether it was on YouTube videos or whether it was on Facebook and different things. So I said, hey, we're already doing that. And then, of course, the home-based side of it was the direct sales piece, because direct sales is a very powerful way to start selling a product. But the one thing that I noticed is that there were better ways than that direct sales once you got it started, and that was the traditional retail marketplace. And so first I want to bring on Jan here, and he's going to talk a little bit about his first thoughts from when I told him beforehand, Jan stepped out completely on faith, right? All I said was, Jan, we're reinventing the industry, right? And he didn't know what it was, and he just started talking to people. He actually started already sending out emails on it saying, hey, we're going to be doing this, rebuilding it. But Jan, so you had been sending it out for about 2 months, right? This email, talking to people a little bit about it. And then I think it was a couple weeks from when I actually said, hey, we're going to do the call on that side of it. What were your first thoughts when we were on the call and I started to share it with you? Corey came a little bit later, and we're going to explain that story, how Corey came and got involved. But I believe you had already started to talk to Corey about it, right? You had mentioned to him that you had this new concept. You just couldn't give him any details, correct? Can you hear us, Jan? Jan? You're muted, buddy. Is Jan on the phone with you?
No, I think he's on the phone though.
He's on the
phone.
Sorry,
guys. Yeah, I was on the phone with one of our people who was on the webinar just a few minutes ago.
That's extremely important, buddy. So go ahead and so did you hear the question I asked? I want to know your thoughts. So when I first shared it, that first phone call, what were your thoughts about kulaBrands?
Well, the first phone call or the first call on February 28th?
The first call when I called you and said, yeah, why don't we go back? I was talking about the one on the 28th, but when I called you and said, hey, we reinvented the home-based business industry, what were your first thoughts?
I thought, well, I definitely need to get involved in this, and it's amazing that I'm getting such an early opportunity to hear what's going on. So I picked your brain. I kept you on the phone longer than you wanted to be, I'm sure, and got as many details as I possibly could. Put them in an email and sent that out January 1st to everyone I could think of with an open mind and a hunger for success. And that's what's built part of the community of kulaBrands at this point is those early people who see the vision of reinventing something and doing something.
So to me, that's incredible, right? Because I gave Jan some information, but not the whole picture. But yet he had enough confidence that he's like, look, I want to be an early adopter. I want to get a head start on this. I'm in the early stages of it. I'm going to get started now. I'm not going to wait until I get all this information, because he trusted the source where the information was coming from. That's the reason why, right, buddy? Okay. And so now we get to February 28th and we get on the call. No name for the opportunity yet, or no, in just a phone call only. Everybody signed non-disclosure agreements, and we share the opportunity a whole. Now, what are your thought process? We just finished the call, and what were your thoughts on that side of it from there?
Sign me up. We didn't have links, but my immediate thoughts were, this is exactly what Peter said it would be. It's the reinvention of the home-based business industry from a totally different perspective of, let's give everyone the greatest benefit possible, not make them work as hard as we possibly can and still keep them in. It was really spreading the benefit, spreading the wealth, and it's it's lip service in most conversations, but that's not what happened here. It's actually happening. It's what it says it's doing is what is happening.
Well, awesome. And so you didn't only sign up, right? When I made the offer for you to become part of the team, you kind of made the decision, yeah, I think I'll do that as well, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted that from the beginning. So, and I don't know how clear that was to you from the beginning, but
it was clear, buddy.
I saw something that I could do, and I started doing it. That was the NDA, getting that in an online digital signature format. I wanted it to be fast and simple for people to get the information. So I saw something I could do, and I started doing it, and then I just kept doing that same thing, seeing more things I could do and doing them, and that's why I'm in the part of the company today.
You took action, right? You took action. Absolutely. So one of the keys, guys, is that normally when you start a business, you sit down and you plan things out and you build software and you build the initial systems. But I was so frustrated at that time on what I saw going on in other home-based businesses and with people that were working on doing crowdfunding sites and they weren't having success, that I knew we couldn't wait 4 or 5 or 6 months to do this. And so we took off from that day forward. We began having calls. Took a little while to come up with the name. We're not going to get into that today, but we eventually put it all together. Now, in the meantime, Jan called me up and said, look, I got this guy Corey. He's looked at, he's going on vacation, by the way, and that will bring in Corey, but he turned off his camera. I'm wondering if he had to go use the restroom or something, maybe. And he ran off on us. So we would just get to his part and he turned off the camera there. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing amazing, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Did you have a good restroom break there?
Oh yeah, we've been on that. We've been going at this all day, so I had to take a quick break.
All right, awesome, buddy. Well, I figured that's probably what it was. So now Jan calls you the first time and you get the information about this. Now I know you were getting ready to go on vacation. Secondly, you've told me this, that you were burnt out on the industry. You were like, I'm done with that stuff. Too many people have gotten hurt, and too many people not having success, even though you had been successful in what you've done. So give us a little bit of background there on that side of it, and then tell us a little bit about your first thoughts. So you got on what, a call, or because we didn't have the video yet, right? No video presentation, right?
Yeah, I was actually, I remember the day pretty clearly. I was in a Target parking lot when Jan called me. He said, "You ready to get on the phone with Peter Gantner and Doug Kyle?" And I said, "Oh, here we go again."
Wait a minute. You were in front of Target in an opportunity that's going to pay you in products selling Target. I love it. I love it.
How ironic is that, huh? I thought about
you were about to go on your honeymoon, right?
It was actually in reverse. I was actually going on a trip to propose to my wife.
That's right.
My wife, yes.
Honeymoon before the wedding.
Awesome. Right. So yeah, and I told Jan, and it's what I told Peter right away too when I got on the call was, Peter and Doug just kind of went over the idea of the whole kulaBrands concept, and he had me right away because as Jan said, leveraging the $26 trillion industry. And finally a place where, you could come in and you can earn a great income without even recruiting. And so as Peter just mentioned, I was used to having the success, build up success, and then it would drop off as people, couldn't have the same success, and then they would drop off of the company. So my success would go down, and then it became a point over time where my moral compass kind of shifted, and it wasn't okay with me anymore for bringing people in just for a quick referral bonus. But anyways, in the parking lot, I was listening on the phone, and I said to Peter, I am done recruiting. I'll come in and I'll take a look and I'll participate and I'll support, inventors and support other people. But I'm done with recruiting because, I'm tired of people getting hurt. And he said, "Okay, buddy, we'll just see what happens." And of course, a couple days later, I left for my trip to the Dominican Republic and Punta Cana, and it just happened. The magic happened. I started telling everybody I knew, making calls on the internet. I'm just spreading the word about kulaBrands, and really, it's been brilliant ever since. And somebody asked me the other day if I was still as excited about kulaBrands as I was 15 months ago. And I said, typically the honeymoon phase would be over for a company. You get in and then it fizzles out. But I'm more on fire now than I have been since day one. And it's because of the whole new concept of the entire community earning together, and one person's efforts increases the value of the check of the next person, and everybody together is earning, and we have the world selling for us. And we have the opportunity to change inventors' lives, and at the same time change every single person's lives that we tell about the opportunity. So I'm going to be grateful to Jan and Peter and the whole entire kulaBrands organization and community for the rest of my life and my children's life, and everybody that comes on after, because this is something that you can will down to your children and your loved ones long after you're gone. So it became, for me, as I started the industry, from recruiting people and trying to change lives, to a point where I'm actually able to leave a legacy and a footprint in this world in a big way. So never seen anything like it. And if you're watching this now, I doubt you have either. And we welcome you coming in, because you step in, you do some activity, and you're going to earn for a lifetime and then some income.
Yeah. And so what I'd like to do is, guys, next week on Monday, we're actually going to do a live presentation on YouTube. So if you're watching this, you can get on that. And then, of course, they get recorded and stored. We'll start doing some live presentations on YouTube. We already do them on Facebook. You can get back with the person's YouTube channel you're seeing this on, and they can help lead you towards getting some more information on where we're going. We just really wanted to share with you, three of the people that were in, of course, myself with the idea, Jan very early on the first phone call, Corey within days after that getting involved. So it just started with a very small group of people. Now we're over 2,500 people. It's growing all the time. We have 10 projects. 6 have gone through crowdfunding. The 7th one's getting ready to go up. We've got several in the queue. getting ready to come out here very soon. And the neat part is the diversity of this. And you guys might be able to touch on this a little bit. One of the things that I did when I was building other companies is eventually it got boring, right? The same old nutritional, the same old nutritional, the same old this, the same old phone service. One of the cool things about kulaBrands is that we have new projects coming out all the time. And so you're not just in the nutritional industry, you're in that industry, but also in the baby industry, and not just in the baby industry, but in the publishing industry. And I don't know about you guys, but I watch, TV occasionally, and we turn it on, and it would be I always thought it'd be cool to see my name in on the show or something like that, right? And be a part of a show and put one out there. Well, guess what? kulaBrands is going to be launching a business type show. And if you're a kulaBrands member, you can help support it through crowdfunding, through our process, which if you're watching this and you don't know the presentation yet, you're not going to know what that means. But you can be a part of that, and you can be part of the revenue that's coming off of that show. So we just wanted to jump in here real quick, do a quick test on a YouTube live. We were excited about it, and I thought this is a perfect time to kind of give some early indication of what's going on, how we got this thing started. So Jan, anything else that you'd like to share with everyone that's watching right now out in the world of YouTube?
Well, like you said, the ability to participate in different sectors at the same time, have a few irons in different fires is excellent, because you're just you're more and more likely to experience a consistent and reliable success level, getting revenue from these multiple streams in different sectors. Because if the adventure and action sports sector goes down in revenue, but the baby industry starts booming, then you haven't lost any income, because you're making money off of both. And there's that. And then also, one of the key differences that I like to point out between the kulaBrands business model and what somebody might try to pigeonhole something into, like a MLM or network marketing model, is that with kulaBrands, the product pricing is based on market competition. So
yes,
these prices are market driven rather than compensation plan driven. So it's built to serve consumers rather than a network marketing structure.
Well, and that's absolutely true. And one of the other things that you brought up in my mind when you were saying that is also if I'm selling a nutritional product only, and I find out that, let's say I know 1,000 people, maybe only 100 or 150 of those people are into nutrition, right? And so, so I can go ahead and market that product to them. But what about the other 850 people? Well, some of those are maybe having babies, so it's a baby product. Some of those might have children that want to learn about the national parks. Well, that's our publishing side of things. And so just the fact that we have this diversity allows to go out there and have the interest level of of course, eventually, because we'll have eventually hundreds and thousands of products, it would eventually apply to every single person I know, that now I could either sell a product to, promote a product to, and then get credit for doing that activity, and then of course get the royalties from there. So Corey, are you with us, buddy, or did you leave us again?
A man's got to do what a man's got to do. He's got to say hi to his daughter.
Exactly. So that was a better reason this time than last time.
Yes.
So, buddy, just real quick, any last words you'd like to say to the people that are watching about your experience here, the future? Just
Oh yes, I talk to a ton of people on a daily basis about taking a closer look at kulaBrands, and it really is the first time that you can come in and take a look. We have a Facebook group that captures the kulaBrands culture, and it really is something that has changed my life in so many different ways already. And I I tell people if they take that small step towards joining, because there really is nothing to lose, you will see the vision, you'll see the magic, and I'm grateful I get to see it from both sides of the curtain. And where we are going is absolutely beyond any wildest dream that any of us all could have put together. And the community, the collaborative marketing that we're doing here, as opposed to competitive marketing, is there's nothing like it, and there's no stopping us. And so anyone looking, we wanted to just say welcome home, because kulaBrands is changing everything.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. And so, guys, I believe the next, oh yeah, look, Jan pulled up the page. That's awesome, buddy. The next presentation, when we do it on YouTube, will probably be from the kulaBrands YouTube channel, which we'll do on Monday. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. So thank you for joining us on our first inaugural YouTube live for kulaBrands. We look forward to doing a bunch more of these and having a bunch more people see what we're up to and what we're doing. So thanks for joining us, guys. Have an awesome weekend.